Good morning and happy Easter! I bet you're sitting at home with your Easter bonnet on and your fine clothes. I can see you out there. Or maybe you're in your pajamas. That's okay. This is a different Easter than the ones that we've always had. We're not able to celebrate with all of our friends and family, and that makes us sad. But it is important to remember that there's people all over the world who are celebrating Easter Sunday today, and we're all praying for each other, and that's what's most important, the community together. Now, I don't know if you had a chance to see the video that I put on the website and on Facebook. It was a Godly Place story, and it's called The Faces of Easter. And I promised in that video that I would finish the story today on Easter Sunday. So I hope you've watched it, but if you haven't, I'm going to finish the story and I'll just give you a little update on what this is. These are all the faces of Jesus. Baby Jesus with Mother Mary and Father Joseph. The boy Jesus in the temple, where he went and spoke with the priests, and the priests were amazed at all he knew. Jesus getting baptized, and the voice from above saying, "This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased." Jesus in the wilderness, getting tested 3 times. Jesus doing the work that he was meant to do, coming close to the people that no one wanted to come close to and making them well. And then the Last Supper, all the events of that day, and the final meal with the disciples, where Jesus told them, when you thank God for the bread and break the bread together, I will be with you. And when you drink this cup together, I will be with you. That night, the temple guards arrested Jesus and took him away. That night was long and confusing. The next morning, Jesus was taken outside the walls of the city and he was crucified. A few hours later, Jesus died. The sky grew dark. Jesus' friends took his body and they laid it in a tomb. They rolled a giant rock across the front of the tomb. Saturday was very quiet. You could almost hear the earth breathing. On Sunday morning, it was the women who had the courage to come to Jesus' tomb. They wanted to be near, even though it made them sad. But when they approached the tomb, they saw that the stone had been rolled away and the tomb was empty. They realized that Jesus had been risen from the dead. When we look at this side, we see the crucifixion, but we know that that's a part of the risen Jesus who is present with the bread and the cup. Now, these two sides cannot be pulled apart. And this is the celebration color, white, the color of joy, the joy of Easter, that Jesus is with us. Now, with this story, we have a beginning and a middle and an end. It's like a straight line, but we know that on the other side of here is this, and there is no end. So I wonder if we can show this story in a different way. Jesus as a child and growing into a boy, getting baptized and going out into the wilderness, healing those who are suffering, and and teaching the disciples about the bread and the cup. And finally, the risen Jesus. So now this story has no beginning and no end. It can go on and on. Now I wonder, what part of the story do you like best? What part of the story is the most important? What part of the story is about you, or did you feel like you were there? And I wonder, what part of the story could we leave out and still have the whole story? I want to wish you a happy Easter. Christ is risen. He is risen indeed.